we need to be able to add or subtract fractions with different denominators. So here we have 2/3 plus 1/9. To do this, we need to get the denominators of our fractions the same. So we need to find a fraction equivalent to 2/3 with a denominator of 9. 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 3 is 6, so we can replace the 2/3 in our question with 6/9. So really, we can do 6/9 plus 1/9. So notice what the equal sign really means here. We have 2/3 plus 1/9 equals 6/9 plus 1/9. The equal sign just means is the same as. So adding 2/3 and 1/9 is the same as adding 6/9 and 1/9. But we haven't answered our question yet. To do that, we add the numerators and keep the denominator the same. So we have 7/9. So what we did in this question was split our 2/3 into 9ths to make 6/9. Then we added 1/9 and that gave us our answer 7/9. So now we have 7/12 minus 1/6. So we can change 1/6 into 12ths by multiplying by 2. So really we have 7/12 minus 2/12. And that gives us 5/12. And you can see what we did here. We had 7/12, but we were taking away 1/6. But because 1/6 is the same as 2/12, we have 5/12 left. Now pause the video and work out 11/12 minus 2/3. So we can change 2/3 into an equivalent fraction of 8/12. So we can work out 11/12 minus 8/12, and that gives us 3/12. And to see what we did, we started with 11/12, but we took away 2/3 of what we had. But 2/3 is the same as 8/12. So we were left with 3/12. Now here it gets more difficult. We need to add 2/3 and 1/4. But we can't change thirds into quarters. 4 isn't a multiple of 3. So when one denominator is not a multiple of another, you need to change both fractions. So we need a number for our denominator which is in both the 3 and 4 times table. 12 is a multiple of both 3 and 4. So we can find two equivalent fractions with a denominator of 12. 2/3 is the same as 8/12. So really we have 8/12 plus 1/4 in 12ths, which is 3/12. So now we've converted both fractions, so we're adding fractions with the same denominator, so we can find our answer 11/12. So let's look at what we did. 2/3 is the same as 8/12. But we're adding 1/4. But 1/4 is the same as 3/12. So that gives us 11/12 altogether. Now pause the video and see if you can answer 1/2 minus 2/5. We need to convert both fractions so that they have the same denominator, and as 10 is the lowest number in both times tables, as 10 is the lowest common multiple of 2 and 5, we can change them both into tenths. 1/2 is 5/10, and we're subtracting 2/5, which is the same as 4/10. So that gives us our answer, 1/10. Again, we can look at what we did. We started with 1/2, which is the same as 5/10. We subtracted 2/5, which is the same as 4/10, and we were left with 1/10. Now pause the video and try 3/4 plus 1/5. We can change them both to 20ths. So we have 15/20 plus 4/20, which gives us 19/20. So again, let's look at what we did. 3/4 is 15/20. We're adding 1/5, which is the same as 4/20, and that gives us a total of 19/20.